Tragedies in schools are something we see far too often. But what happens when the person behind the violence isn't who we'd typically expect? In December 2024, something rare and shocking happened at the Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. This small, private school was supposed to be a safe place for kids who felt left out or bullied elsewhere. Nobody imagined that a quiet 15-year-old girl named Natalie Rupnow, known by her classmates as Samantha, would change everything in a matter of minutes. Rumors quickly spread online. Was Samantha part of some extremist group? Did politics push her over the edge? Or was something else at play? While the internet rushed to conclusions, the truth was much more complicated and far sadder. Samantha's life wasn't easy. Her parents divorced and remarried each other multiple times, making her childhood unstable and stressful. Samantha once wrote online about her loneliness, describing how her mother struggled with drugs and her father drank heavily. Even at school, Samantha felt isolated, describing herself as weird and feeling misunderstood by classmates. Yet, beneath her silence, Samantha was quietly slipping into darkness, unnoticed by those around her, until it was too late. As we explore Samantha's story today, we'll uncover the real reasons behind her tragic choices and clear up the confusion caused by misinformation. If stories like these matter to you, and you appreciate real conversations about how tragedies like this can be prevented, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on. That way, you'll never miss important discussions about cases that truly matter. Let's start by taking a closer look at who Samantha really was before everything went wrong. Samantha was born Natalie Lynn Rupnow on November 7, 2009, right in Madison, Wisconsin, where she spent her whole life. Her parents, Jeff and Melissa, had a complicated relationship. They married and divorced each other 3 different times during Samantha's childhood. Imagine how confusing that must have felt for a kid, never really knowing what home meant. In the early years, Samantha moved constantly between her parents' houses. Sometimes she'd only stay 2 or 3 days with one parent before moving back again. Her family finally tried to make things more stable in 2020, giving Samantha a regular schedule. She'd spend 2 days with her mom, 2 days with her dad, and 3 days alternating between the two every other week. Even then, things never stayed calm for long. In 2021, her parents married for the 3rd time, but it quickly ended again, adding to Samantha's stress. Samantha started therapy in July of 2022. She struggled with feelings of loneliness, anger, and sadness. Samantha later wrote online that therapy didn't help, and she didn't think highly of her therapist either. At home, things weren't any better. Samantha often shared online that her mom struggled with drug use and that her dad drank heavily, though her dad regularly shared pictures of Samantha smiling at church events or doing fun activities. But online, Samantha revealed a different truth, saying she felt like an outsider, unwanted, and misunderstood by her own family. School was difficult too. Samantha described herself as quiet, but instead of being understood, she felt classmates often judged or ignored her. Even after transferring to Abundant Life Christian School in 2024, a place meant to help students who had struggled elsewhere, she still felt isolated. Samantha was often seen alone, dressed differently than others, wearing ties, suits, and boots. Parents and classmates noticed her, but rarely talked to her. But there was one place Samantha found comfort: online. She talked frequently to a boy from Germany whom she called her boyfriend. He described Samantha as kind and thoughtful, someone who'd often make little gifts for him. But he also didn't know the darker side of Samantha's life, or how deep her pain had grown. By the fall of 2024, Samantha's online posts started to change. She began to share troubling images and idolize dangerous people who'd committed terrible acts in the past. But how exactly did Samantha's pain and loneliness turn into something much darker? Let's take a closer look at the clues she left behind online before tragedy struck. By late summer 2024, Samantha started spending more time online, and what she shared began to worry people who saw it. She became fascinated with violent events from the past and openly admired those involved. She used social media like Tumblr, TikTok, and other sites to share posts praising harmful acts and hateful ideas. Some classmates noticed Samantha wearing clothes connected to disturbing events. For example, One day at a local shooting range with her dad, Samantha wore a shirt from a band famously linked to past tragedies. Online, she posted images and wrote about admiring people who had committed similar acts in schools. Those who saw these posts didn't realize how serious she was, thinking maybe it was just a way to get attention. Samantha also had troubling conversations online. While her boyfriend from Germany knew only her kinder side, others noticed her sharing hateful comments. Samantha openly shared her negative feelings about certain groups, including people of other races and women. At times, she seemed deeply angry, not just at a few people, but at the world itself. As fall came, Samantha's posts became even darker. On her birthday, she hinted at receiving a dangerous gift, posting an image online with the caption, "Happy birthday to me." Few understood the seriousness of what she was saying. She also had a habit of using profile images of past attackers, almost like heroes she admired. One of her accounts had the profile picture of a person who carried out a tragic event in Russia. On another site, Samantha shared graphic videos that should never have been shared. Her followers were disturbed, yet most dismissed it as online drama, just a troubled teen seeking attention. Around this time, Samantha wrote a 6-page document called War Against Humanity. Inside, she shared angry thoughts about society, classmates, and even her family, blaming everyone else for the hurt she felt inside. She admired dangerous people who'd done terrible things, calling them saints. Samantha wrote clearly that she planned to follow in their footsteps, and she planned it alone. Then, on the morning of December 16th, Samantha posted one final video of the rain falling gently in her yard. She captioned it with a haunting sentence, "May I die like how beautiful the rain is." Just hours later, she brought 2 hidden weapons to school. She sent her final written thoughts to her boyfriend, who wouldn't see them until it was already too late. But why did no one around Samantha realize how serious things had gotten? And could someone have stopped her before she reached that point? To find answers, we must look carefully at what happened next, step by step, on that painful day. December 16th, 2024, began like any ordinary day at Abundant Life Christian School. Students arrived for class, looking forward to their last school day before Christmas break. Teachers were busy preparing for holiday activities, unaware of the tragedy that was about to unfold. At around 9:30 in the morning, Samantha quietly sent a final message to her online boyfriend, attaching the troubled document she had written. He didn't see it right away, leaving Samantha's words unread. Just over an hour later, Samantha posted a picture on social media. In the photo, she sat quietly at school, holding up a hand gesture often linked to hateful beliefs. But to her classmates, it appeared harmless. Minutes later, Samantha tried sharing her written thoughts publicly. Due to a mistake, however, no one could access the link, and people online dismissed it as a failed attempt at attention-seeking. With her messages unread and her posts unnoticed, Samantha stepped into a busy study hall filled with students of various ages. A substitute teacher named Aaron West was managing the room that morning, unaware of Samantha's hidden intentions. At around 10:57 a.m., Samantha suddenly pulled out a hidden weapon and began firing, catching everyone completely off guard. Aaron was the first person struck, tragically losing his life instantly. Samantha kept firing, hitting several students who had little time to react or escape. In the hallway, students described panic and confusion. 8-year-old Nora was changing her shoes when she heard loud noises and screams. Terrified, she recalled hearing a teacher nearby crying out for help. 6th grader Adler Charles, hiding in a locked classroom, said he heard loud noises and sobbing as the entire school went into lockdown. Within minutes, a teacher bravely called emergency services, alerting them of the urgent situation. Police rushed to the scene, arriving just 3 minutes after receiving the call. But the damage had already been done. After firing several rounds, Samantha turned her weapon on herself. By the time officers reached her, she was badly wounded and unresponsive. First responders attempted to save her, but Samantha passed away on the way to the hospital. Aaron West and a 14-year-old student named Ruby Patricia Vergara, known by friends as Ruby, tragically lost their lives that morning. Several others were seriously injured and rushed to nearby hospitals, fighting to survive. In just a few short minutes, the quiet and safe atmosphere of Abundant Life Christian School was shattered forever. Students, teachers, and the entire community would now face a long, painful journey toward healing and recovery. Yet, even as police worked carefully to understand the reasons behind this devastating day, many questions lingered. Were there opportunities to intervene that everyone missed? And how can tragedies like these be prevented in the future? To answer these important questions, we must carefully examine what investigators discovered next, and how the community tried to heal afterward. In the hours and days following the tragedy, confusion and misinformation spread quickly online. People on social media rushed to explain what had happened, often without facts or evidence. This led to a flood of rumors, adding even more pain for the victims' families and the entire Madison community. One rumor suggested Samantha was transgender, which spread widely on social media. Police Chief Sean Barnes quickly responded, clarifying that this detail wasn't accurate or even important. He urged the public to focus on what truly mattered, understanding how such a tragedy could happen, and finding ways to support those affected. Other false rumors claimed Samantha supported extreme political views. Some said she belonged to specific groups or movements, though investigators found no proof to support those claims. Sadly, these stories continued to spread online despite being clearly disproven. Amid this confusion, law enforcement carefully looked into Samantha's background and home life. They searched the homes of both her parents, hoping to understand how Samantha had obtained the weapon used that day. Police quickly learned Samantha had access to her father's secure storage, though exactly how she gained access remained unclear. Samantha's parents cooperated fully with investigators, devastated by what had occurred. Police and FBI agents also examined Samantha's online history closely. They discovered troubling posts, messages, and pictures that showed her fascination with past violent events. It became clear Samantha had found a dangerous sense of belonging online, connecting with others who shared similar negative views. Investigators worked to identify these connections, hoping to prevent further tragedies. As police pieced together Samantha's final months, they uncovered messages between her and other troubled young people online. One of them, a young man from California named Alexander, was arrested after authorities learned he planned a similar event. Investigators believe Samantha and Alexander had encouraged each other's harmful ideas, highlighting the hidden risks of online friendships. Meanwhile, the Madison community struggled with grief and shock. Families, students, and neighbors placed flowers and candles outside Abundant Life Christian School, creating a peaceful spot to honor the lives lost and those injured. At a candlelight gathering, many came together to remember the victims and support one another through their sadness. Yet, even as people mourned, one powerful message stood out clearly. Tragedy doesn't have to lead to anger or hatred. Ruby's family publicly forgave Samantha, recognizing that her family also suffered a loss. In their sorrow, they chose compassion over blame, a powerful reminder of the strength that can emerge even from heartbreaking moments. But what did authorities finally determine about Samantha's reasons for doing something so tragic? And could anything have truly been done differently? Let's carefully explore what the investigators found next. As investigators learned more, they began to form a clearer picture of Samantha's thoughts leading up to that tragic day. The 6-page document Samantha had written provided key insights, revealing feelings of anger and isolation that had built up over time. While her exact motivations were complex, it seemed clear Samantha wanted to hurt others because she felt deeply hurt herself. The FBI, along with local police, carefully examined Samantha's interactions online. Despite uncovering these troubling details, police confirmed Samantha acted alone on the day of the event. Her family members were heartbroken and shocked, unaware of Samantha's deeper pain or the darker connections she had formed online. Investigators stressed that Samantha's family were not considered responsible for what had happened, though how she gained access to the weapons remained under careful examination. In the aftermath of this tragedy, the Madison community came together, determined to heal and support one another. Local leaders immediately took action to comfort those affected, promising to make important safety improvements in schools across the area. Families, neighbors, and officials alike wanted to ensure something like this would never happen again. Abundant Life Christian School brought in counselors and experts to help students and staff manage their feelings. Special sessions allowed children to safely share their thoughts, ask questions, and learn how to cope with their sadness. Teachers and parents received additional guidance on how to recognize when students might be quietly struggling, emphasizing the importance of talking openly about feelings and challenges. The school also became a gathering place where the community could remember those lost. Erin West was lovingly remembered as a caring teacher who often went above and beyond. Families spoke of how he always showed kindness and patience, truly making a positive difference. Ruby Vergara, who was only 14, was warmly celebrated by her classmates and family as someone who brought brightness wherever she went. Her love for music, animals, and friendship left an unforgettable impact. At her funeral, friends shared stories about Ruby's warmth and how her joyful spirit always lifted their moods. The tragedy also sparked meaningful national conversations. Communities across the country began discussing better ways to support young people who might be facing hidden struggles. Mental health professionals highlighted the urgent need for easier access to emotional support and therapy, especially for teens who might otherwise stay silent about their troubles. In response, some lawmakers began exploring ways to improve school safety and provide stronger mental health resources for students. There was wide agreement that schools, parents, and community members needed to work together more closely, creating safer environments for kids to openly share their feelings and receive help before it's too late. Throughout Madison, people found strength in unity. Candlelight gatherings and quiet memorials showed how deeply the community cared about one another. While they could never erase what had happened, Madison residents decided to channel their grief into positive actions, hoping their example could prevent future tragedies elsewhere. Samantha's story became an important reminder to everyone that paying close attention and showing genuine care to those around us can truly make a difference. The community committed to learning from what had happened, not by dwelling on blame, but by focusing on empathy, prevention, and making sure every child feels heard and valued. With these lessons, Madison began moving toward a hopeful future, determined to heal together and honor the lives forever changed by this heartbreaking day. In the weeks following these events, mental health experts highlighted that emotional struggles among teens often remain hidden from view until it's too late. They suggested a deeper understanding of these hidden signs could help communities identify young people in need of support much earlier, potentially preventing similar tragedies. Experts recommended providing specialized trainings for teachers and parents, helping them recognize when students who appear withdrawn or quiet might actually be feeling deep pain. Schools began looking at ways to offer regular emotional check-ins for all students, aiming to create an environment where every student feels seen and heard, even those who are quiet or don't show obvious signs of trouble. Another critical focus was online safety. Samantha's online experiences revealed how easily teens could be influenced or misled by harmful connections they make on the internet. Digital safety experts urge parents and teachers to have clear and ongoing conversations with teens about their online lives, emphasizing that they can always reach out if something feels wrong. They also called on tech companies and social media platforms to actively improve systems that detect and respond to harmful content and dangerous online communities. In response, some social media companies took additional steps, making it simpler for young users to report troubling posts and increasing their own oversight. National conversations pushed for stronger regulations, ensuring tech platforms do more to protect vulnerable young users from harmful influences online. In Madison and communities nationwide, discussions also focused on improving overall school environments. Experts stressed that physical safety measures, while important, are just one part of the solution. A truly safe school, they emphasized, must also build emotional safety, an atmosphere where every child feels connected and supported by peers and staff. This sense of belonging is essential for preventing feelings of isolation and loneliness from developing into something dangerous. Psychologists encourage community members, students, parents, and teachers to be proactive in checking in with those around them, especially when someone seems unusually withdrawn or upset. Recognizing and responding compassionately when someone shows emotional distress can sometimes prevent problems from becoming serious. Additionally, advocacy groups nationwide called for clear action plans within schools and communities, ensuring everyone knows exactly how to respond if they notice troubling behaviors. Strengthening these plans could help communities act more quickly and effectively, providing young people with timely emotional support. Samantha's story, while heartbreaking, became a lesson in the importance of awareness and early intervention. Experts reminded everyone that Tragedies aren't inevitable, but preventing them requires communities to pay close attention, care deeply, and act swiftly when someone might be silently hurting. With these lessons in mind, communities committed to creating environments where young people feel valued, listened to, and supported. By working together, experts believe society could make meaningful progress toward protecting young lives and preventing tragedies before they happen. Samantha's story is heartbreaking, complicated, and difficult to fully understand. It reminds us how quickly pain, loneliness, and isolation can quietly build up behind closed doors. Even when someone seems quiet or distant, there may be deeper struggles that we can't easily see. Throughout this tragedy, we've learned that open communication and genuine empathy can play a major role in helping someone who feels unheard or unseen. By noticing when someone might be struggling, even if they don't openly share their feelings, we can make a difference before problems become too big to handle. We've also learned how powerful online interactions can be in shaping young people's thoughts and emotions. The internet connects us all, but it also has risks. As we've seen with Samantha, harmful influences can take root quietly. Being aware of the risks online and having honest conversations about them can help keep young people safe from negative influences. It's important to recognize that communities can grow stronger after tragedy by coming together, offering support, and making real changes. Madison's determination to heal and improve can inspire other communities facing similar challenges. Now, we'd like to open the discussion to you. After learning Samantha's story, what stands out most clearly? Is there something specific you think schools, families, or even social media companies could do differently to better support young people? Leave your ideas in the comments below. Your insight can help encourage real conversations about making meaningful change. If you found this story meaningful and appreciate thoughtful discussions about how we can create safer and more understanding communities, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Your support helps important stories like this one reach more people. Finally, remember this: even small acts of kindness, listening to someone who needs it, or showing that you care can make a powerful difference. Together, by paying attention and being compassionate, we can help prevent tragedies and ensure every young person feels valued and heard. We at Crimes Recast appreciate you joining us and reflecting on this important story. Until next time, let's keep looking out for each other because every voice matters.